Okay, so we've decided to do a little work to this, and the reason why we've decided to do it is the fact is it would be stuff that we're going to do even if we were going to sell it. We've had a lot of interest in the boat. Michael and I, we've got a couple of people coming out to look at it, but in all honesty, it's kind of one of those things of going through and checking the trailer out and stuff like that. And I think one of the good examples is, you know, stuff like this, which is relatively easy. Anybody can do this at home, is replace the chains. Obviously we're going to go through and check the trailer lights and everything out, make sure that they're working correctly, double check the wiring on the trailers. And one of the reasons why we're doing that is an awful lot of the trailers that come in here have some kinds of issues with the trailer. But I will say is one of the common problems we have of people's boats that come in here is they don't take care of their trailer. They'll have $20,000 worth of electronics and the trailer will be falling apart. So to me, I don't understand that. Without a good foundation, you've got big problems. So we're going to be going through and double checking the trailer. We are not going to be painting the trailer, any of that good stuff, but we're going to go through and check the wiring. I'm never really very impressed with the wiring on any of the trailers we see unless me or you redo it. You all right? So we had a technical glitch there whilst Michael choked. So we're going to pull this out, re-powder coat it. We're going to remake one of these. This is kind of knobbly, maybe just try to buy one, I don't know. If we can't buy one, we'll remake it. We're going to find out what these go to. Like I said, we're going to powder coat that. We're going to redo the top of the lockers here. And here we're going to take some of our usual plastic stuff and replace this wood with plastic if we can, if the height and everything is correct. I believe it will be. We're going to see if we can clean up the carpet in here. If we can't, we're going to replace the carpet just in there. We are not replacing all the carpet, it's not worth it. If whoever buys it wants us to replace it, we will, at their cost. At their cost, remember that part. Guys seem to have selective memory, because let me tell you. So we're going to make a cover for this to cover up these holes. We're going to go through, we're going to replace all the switches. I think one of the things on these older boats, that's always a good idea. You know, you guys know we've done a lot of electrical work, and let me tell you, a lot of these switches are not necessarily good. And the last thing you want to do is get caught out over the cost of a few switches. The switches are fairly inexpensive. It takes a little time, but I think it's one thing well worth doing. We're going to put some of that not carpet down here,
sea deck
stuff down here, and we're going to repaint under here a black or a grey or something. I'm not really too decided. I don't like to make it too dark under here because it's always good to have it for when you can see underneath, but I don't like the white. So we'll kind of make up our minds about that. Michael's come up with some suggestions, but I want to think that through before we get too carried away on that, and choose a colour. The other thing that I want to do to this boat that I do think it does need is put those lights on it that Michael has done several installs. Those are really good lights. They're relatively inexpensive and they do a great job. So we'll put some of those lights on it. I think having good lights on your boat, on the interior, are good things. I'm not talking about these things that change colours and do discos and stuff. I'm talking about some nice lights where you can see what's going on. I think it's always good to have nice lighting in your engine bay or your, whatever the hell you call this, your gas station bay, or what do you call this?
Battery compartment.
Battery gas compartment. So we're going to go in here, we're going to clean this up. This is one of the things I pointed out to Michael that I was going to do regardless. Don't like this at all. This is not correct. somebody, you know what somebody did here? I can tell you exactly what somebody did. These hoses are old and hard. And what happened was that they were probably split, so they just cut them off and thought they were going to pull them this way. And I'm going to tell you, they're going to be replaced. That is not the right way to do it. That is, to me, that is just stupid economy. So, as you know, we use marine grade. I always advise everybody to use marine grade. It's a marine grade for a reason. And so, regardless, I'm going to replace these regardless of what happens with the boat, etc. And obviously clean this all up and clean all this, make sure the charger thing works. It did. But obviously now we're getting some people being serious, so we've got to go through and double check all these things. I don't know what's going on here, but we're going to figure out what's going on here too. So we'll get that fixed. As far as the engine goes, we did a compression test on it. We're going to recheck the compression on the motor. Probably running a little bit. Michael's talking about me servicing the carburetors. I don't really want to service the carburetors unless we absolutely have to. We're going to determine if somebody's been overfilling this and we have a problem down here or not. So we're going to give it a good clean, double check that out. Probably go ahead and rebuild the pump because it's relatively inexpensive. Do those kind of things that we usually have done in the past, rebuild the pump, and probably do the lower unit as we've done. That's always a good father-son project right there. And the other thing is that Michael, let me see if I can do this without busting my rear end.
Just get up there.
Is this going to turn? But the reason why we're jumping down on the back is because everybody was asking us about this thing, and I can tell you now there's nothing wrong with that. As far as I know, I've hit it with a hammer, we've jumped up and down it. Michael weighs 250 pounds, so I think you would see and hear stuff if that was bad. So that seems pretty good. We obviously will double check that some more. Clean the top of the tanks and stuff, clean the seats. Michael's talking about putting a stereo in. I'm not totally sold on that. I don't see the point, but to each their own. Give it a good clean up and hopefully find a new home. And we've got to do something that I said I didn't want to do. So I think the stuff that we're going to do is going to make it a better, more, I want to say reliable, because I don't think there's really that much wrong with this boat. I don't think there's that much wrong with the boat. So I just think we'd just, kind of give it a clean up. It would be stuff that if I was to buy the boat, I would go through and do myself anyway. The simple things like the lights and stuff like that. Those hoses back there just really irritate the tooties out of me, because that's just ignorance, and that's not being very smart about the way you do business. That's, when I do this, we'll make a video of how long it takes me to do it and the cost of materials, and so let's say it takes a couple of hours, and then the materials. Is your boat worth $200 or $300? So why would you take a shortcut like that? I don't understand that. And if they're screwed up here, they're screwed up on this valve. I don't know if you all know about these valves, but we'll probably replace this valve or service this valve, because once we've got it apart, sometimes it's just better to service it. Well, the valves are relatively inexpensive. Some of the problems is finding the right valve. But I'll show you how we do that, and we'll double check out the rest of it. To me, it's false economy. So hopefully all these batteries are tied down. So we'll do one of our usual cleanups in here, get the wiring all straightened out. I don't like stuff like this. So we'll get that all ironed out, and
maybe we can get a battery deal.
If we're getting a battery deal, it's going to be on your boat. Okay? I can't believe that what's his name got a battery deal and they're not on your boat. That's my 10 cents worth on that. So
we got a hydraulic steering leak.
we do. Well, every boat has a hydraulic steering wheel. So let me tell you that about the double check your hydraulic steering.
Probably us jumping up and down on it.
One of the things that, sorry, we've got a little bit of an interruption there. So as far as the steering goes, double check your steering. We had a boat in here a couple of weeks ago now, and let me tell you, the guy frustrated the hell out of me because we pointed out to him that his steering was screwed up, and it's like, yeah. It's like, no, this is pretty serious stuff. So check your steering out. These parts for most of these units are very readily available. It's not that difficult to do, and we'll show you how to do it on this boat. I think we've already done one video on it. We'll do another video on it. I think the thing that takes the longest on it is bleeding the system correctly. That takes a little time, and making sure that you have the correct adapter to feed the fluid in. So we've done it enough now. The other suggestion I have for you is to make sure you use a clear plastic. That way you can see the air bubbles floating. When we were first doing it, we didn't have a clear plastic, and you don't know if the bubbles are gone or not. So that's just some stuff that we do to make sure that we've got all the air out of the system. As far as this goes, we're going to keep a running total of my time. Now, you got to understand, I'm not the fastest guy in the world anymore. I like to do it right. So we're going to keep my time and materials. We're going to keep a list of that. Obviously, this additional work will affect the selling price of this boat a little bit. So anyway, we'll kind of keep you updated on that, because I think it's things that everybody should be doing to their boat. And if you know there's something wrong with your boat or your trailer, okay, it's not going to go away. It's only going to get worse. It's as simple as that. The other thing about it is, if you don't take the time to check your boat out before you go out, it's craziness. If you don't check your tires, check your trailer, check your lights, check those things. You check those things before the morning you go fishing, okay? And don't do it Friday before a tournament and call me and expect us to work overtime to get your boat ready so you can go out on Sunday. That's just craziness. Yes, that has happened.
Happens a lot.
So, from my point of view, you've got a big investment in your boat. So from my point of view, whether it's a $10,000 boat or a $100,000 boat, you have an investment, and it's always good to keep your investment up. Anyway, enough of me rambling on. We'll keep you updated on this, and kind of looking forward to it. I think you'll be impressed with the little work we do to it. So we'll keep you updated as we move along. Thanks.